Alright, so for today's video, I actually wanted to talk about Mortal Kombat 1 and how I personally would fix the game. Because let's be honest, there are some problems with this game. Now, I've played the other Mortal Kombat games. MK9 is like still my personal favorite, but I do think with some changes to Mortal Kombat 1, MK1 could actually end up being my favorite Mortal Kombat game of all time. So yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about the changes it would need to become that, because I do think the potential for this game is there. It's just NetherRealm or Warner Brothers made some really dumb decisions along the way, but the potential is still there. So let's talk about how to bring out that potential and make MK1 the best MK of the franchise. So first off, I think I speak for everyone when I say they need to fix the roster. That is the most important thing that they could do to fix this game. The number one issue with this game is the roster, in my opinion. I think this roster is ass. Like, it's just ass, plain and simple. Perhaps the worst downgrade going from MK11's roster to this one, complete garbage. Absolute garbage. Well, I guess I can't say absolute garbage because, I mean, we did get Melina in the base game, which MK11 couldn't even do. But yeah, we got Melina and Sindel in the base game, which is fire. Katana, Reptile is back, Quan Chi is back, characters that were missing from MK11 for some reason. So, you know, yeah, there's some good stuff there, but the part that really holds back this roster is the whole cameo system, right? Because in my mind, I thought that MK1 introducing a cameo system meant that characters that may not have been able to get into the base game, that no one probably has ever heard of, or no one really, you know, they're characters that, you know, maybe some of the hardcore MK fans would know, but they're not like mainstays. They're not like, we need them to be playable type of characters, right? And we got some of those characters like Movado or Chameleon. Like, we don't need them to be playable in the base roster, but I thought the cameo system as a whole was kind of a way to bring out those characters as like, hey, they didn't make the base roster cut, but they're still in this vast world of characters that, you know, we still want to show off. We still want people to remember. And that was kind of the way of them to bring them in and make us remember. And I thought, okay, well, if that's the case, that's kind of cool. And that brings opportunity for a bunch of characters to make it in. Like, I thought because of the cameo system, we would have a roster the size of Armageddon, if not bigger, just having a lot of those characters maybe be cameos, but having still the important ones be in the base game. That did not end up being the case, however, and for some reason, the cameo system made the roster shortened by both base characters and cameo characters. It feels like we don't have enough of both sides of this system. We don't have enough cameo characters and we don't have enough playable base characters either. So I think the whole cameo system, what it was intended to do, ended up backfiring, and it kind of shows, and it's very unfortunate. And yeah, it really sucks. Like I said, I thought that that was the true vision of the cameo system, was just to bring a bunch of characters into this game. And it would have been really sick, but that's not what ended up happening. So in my personal opinion, the characters I think need to be in the roster is basically everybody from MK9. Like, in my opinion, every character from MK9 should be in every MK game, because to me, that is the perfect MK roster. Right? All the Edenian women should always be in every MK game. In my opinion, Melina, Katana, Jade, Sindel, Scarlet, they should all be in MK every game. If they end up DLC, that's okay, but I think they should be in every single MK game. I also feel that way with Sonya and Kano and Jax. Those three characters being cameo characters just felt kind of weird. Like, Jax is cool as shit, man. Like, I really think Jax is cool. I thought MK11's iteration of Jax was dope. Like, I loved Jax in MK11. I thought he was really fucking cool. And then they made him non-playable. And it's like, why? You know, Sonya Blade is in MK1 and she looks great. Like, she looks great, but she's not playable. Why? Kano also not making the cut. It feels weird, man. It feels weird. Now, do I really care about Kano? Not that much, but it feels weird that he's not playable, right? But I also will say there are some characters in Mortal Kombat that I feel like I don't really care that much about them. Like, if they're in the game, I'll pick them simply just to do their special move because I think it's funny. Like Cabal, I don't really care about Cabal. I think Cabal looks cool as fuck, but I kind of just think he's funny. Like, I pick him just to do his run move and make the opponent spin around, and that's it. So if he was a cameo character, I wouldn't be too mad at it because that's all I would really do for him anyway. And if he was a cameo, I'm sure that would be his attack, is just to run and make them spin, and you can combo into that. And that would be cool. That would be funny. That's all I would pick him to do if he was a playable character anyway. So, you know, characters like that, it's okay if they're just cameo. But I think Sonya isn't one of those characters. Kano, though, I would be okay if he was one of those characters. If he just was an assist and just turned into, you know, his Sonic homing attack ball, I'd be fine with that. You know, I don't really care that much about Kano, but it does feel weird that he's not playable. But yeah, Jax and Sonya, I think, should definitely be playable. Noob finally made the cut, which is cool. But yeah, where is Scarlet? Where is Jade? Stryker made the cut as an assist, which I think is fine. But yeah, he was a character from MK9 that, you know, I'm fine with him being an assist. His design change I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's cool at least to see him return because we haven't seen him since MK9 actually. So, but yeah, Nightwolf as well, another character that I would be cool if he was just a cameo, but where is he? Like, why is he not here? You know, these are characters that I think need to be in the game. And the crazy part is the characters that I actually would have been completely fine with them staying as cameo characters, Sector and Cyrax, the most cameo ass characters, ended up making it to the base roster after already being cameo characters. So instead of adding Sonya Blade and Jax into the base game, they added Sector and Cyrax, the bots, who to me could have stayed cameo. Like, oh my god, it's so annoying. And the most annoying part about it all is that they redesigned them, made them look hideous, right? When in the game before this game, MK11, they actually looked kind of cool, but they weren't playable. You had to fight them in the story mode, but you couldn't play as them. Like, bro, and NetherRealm does this all the fucking time. Because in MKX, they had you fight Sindel, having a full moveset Sindel, but she wasn't playable in the game. Why? The world may never fucking know, but it's just, I hate when they do this. It's so annoying. Also, in MKX, I remember Serena and Lee Mei were in the game. Their models were in the game, but they weren't playable. Now, we finally see Lee Mei playable in this game, which another W for the roster, I will admit. You know, even though this roster kind of has some areas that are Lee Mei being in the base roster, W. Big W. Serena being unplayable though, that sucks. That sucks. That sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I think Serena should have been playable 100%, bro. 100%. Like, it's just, this whole cameo system really kind of fucked a lot of things with the roster. Like, I don't know. There's just a lot of things that don't make sense. I don't know what they were thinking, but the cameo system clearly had them not thinking right. So yeah, but I think they need to add a lot more legacy characters. Kotal Khan, that's another one that I think, you know, he was kind of cool, I guess. Like, I don't know. I didn't mind him actually from MKX and then MK11. Like, I thought he was kind of cool, but they, you know, didn't put him in MK1. Instead, we got Conan the Barbarian. Like, anybody gives a fuck about that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really care that much about Kotal Khan, but I do think he was kind of cool, and they just scrapped him, and I don't know, it's just weird. They need to add more legacy characters to Mortal Kombat 1, 100%, like 10,000%, right? That's number one. That's the most important thing to fix this game, in my opinion, is fix the roster. Please, For the love of God. Everything else on this list of things that needs to be fixed is nice and like should happen, but the main thing, the most important thing is the roster. 100% is the roster. The next thing is the fact that there's no crypt. Now, I feel like a lot of people hate on invasions mode for this game, and I actually quite enjoy invasions mode a lot. I think people compare invasions to the crypt, and I think that's their mistake, because invasions was not meant to be the crypt, in my opinion. I think their replacement for the crypt in this game was the shrine, which is absolutely garbage, and I think they should get rid of the shrine and give us a crypt. 100%. I think that would be a huge move, a huge W, because the shrine has got to be one of the worst possible ways to unlock stuff in a Mortal Kombat game. In fact, I think it is the worst possible way to unlock stuff, because the crypt has always been there and it's always been pretty great, you know? So I don't know. I don't know why they decided to change that and give us a shrine. I'm assuming budgeting reasons, budget cuts, whatever. They just couldn't afford to make a crypt and they spent everything on invasions, whatever. I don't know. I'm just taking a shot in the dark, but they need to give us the crypt and they need to get rid of the shrine. Nobody likes the shrine. Everybody liked the crypt. So it's just, the answer's right there. Answer's just obvious, right? But yeah, I also feel like a lot of people love to shit on this game and hate on MK1, but I think one thing they did really well, and I hope they keep for future MK games, and if they ever decide to add more to this game or try to revamp this game in some way, I really want them to keep the UI and the art direction how it is now. I think the way this game looks from like the UI perspective and just the art direction, the colors, the vibrance, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. I love it. I really do love it. I feel like it feels like MK9 to me, but in higher resolution, in a remastered remake type of setting. Like it actually feels like MK9 upgraded, enhanced. And that's, to me, perfect MK. That is the epitome of MK at its peak, you know? Do not go back to that unsaturated, disgusting looking MKX vibe. Please do not go back to that, please. And not only that, but NetherRealm games sometimes tend to look quite ugly. MKX is just an example, but like, you know, I mean, Injustice 1, if y'all remember that game was hideous. Every character looked hideous, but also the colors were just non-existent in that game. And like, we don't need that. We don't need to go back to that. Please do not go back to that. Right? MK11 was kind of in between, like it was on the path of looking better, and that's why I liked it, because going from MKX to MK11, it's like, whoa, there's actual colors in the game. You know, there's different environments in the game. It actually is starting to look more like Mortal Kombat. You know, it's starting to look more like Mortal Kombat 9, which I was like, oh, thank God we're not staying in that MKX awful, disgusting art direction. Oh, thank God. And then going from MK11 to MK1, it looks even better. It's even prettier, and I love it. I really love the way this game looks. I love it so much. So I'm hoping that they keep to this art style, this art direction. The UI actually feels like MK. When you load into a battle and you see the fiery dragon like transition in, that's fire. That's what I want to see from a Mortal Kombat game. Not that garbage we got with MKX. You know what I'm saying? Every stage looking standard, generic, soulless, no color. Like, oh God, we do not need to go back to that. Please do not go back to that. The art direction of this game, it's great. It's amazing. I love it. I hope they stick to it. Another thing they should do to fix this game is, yeah, I get it, they wanted to do the whole cameo system, but let's be real, it didn't really work out too well, and I think a lot of the player base isn't very fond of it. So I think what they should do is give us a 1v1 mode with no cameos. I think a lot of people really want that, myself included. You know, just because I feel like part of me is conflicted, because I feel like the cameos do give you a lot of combo potential, and a lot of the combos in this game do look cool, but they do kind of look cool because of the cameo, or not because of the cameo, but the cameo being there to extend the combo and make the combo so long is kind of what makes the combo look cool, right? So if they got rid of those extenders or those extensions with the cameo system, the combos from a single character might not look that good. But I think they should implement some type of way to make the combos still there, or like have some kind of combo extender with your own character, like with a single character, I think. Because I don't know, I just feel like the combos look cool. Like the combos being long in the game, I think is cool. Like I like how the combos look and feel, but I just feel like you shouldn't need to pick a cameo for that, right? Like I feel like the gameplay, if we could get that same gameplay with just picking one character, I think that would be kind of cool. And then maybe, you know, we don't need the whole like setups and disgusting like block strings and setups that come with the cameo. We could get rid of that stuff just solely to keep the combos like long and saucy. I think they should still try to implement that and keep that if they make a 1v1 mode, right? But again, like the setups and the block strings with having cameos and stuff like that, they can get rid of that. I can understand how a cameo would be needed for those. And if you had a 1v1 and a 1v1 with cameos, I think the 1v1 with cameos could add, you know, that extra like, okay, this person's gonna have setups when I wake up because of their Kung Lao, you know, disc on the ground. Like, you know, there could be a difference between a 1v1 and a 1v1 with cameos, and that would be fine. I just think the combos shouldn't be that difference. I think the combos should be long and saucy in this game no matter what, no matter if you have a cameo or not. I think, yeah. But I think they're definitely allowed to have a difference between a 1v1 and a 1v1 with cameos. I think that's totally fine, you know? One thing that really bothers me about this game is that I hate when every time I win, I have to see my character win screen with the cameo. Like, it's kind of lame, bro. That's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like that. I don't like that. I just want to see my character on the win screen. Like, it feels so weird, you know? Also, while we're already here, I think they should just go ahead and add a 2v2 mode. A tag team mode, bro. MK9 with the tag team went crazy, bro. Like I love when fighting games add a 2v2 mode. I think it adds for so much more fun, you know? I mean, some fighting games do have it, but I mean more so traditional fighting games like Street Fighter or Tekken or Mortal Kombat. You know, these games that are more so traditional and meant to be competitive, I feel like in the past when they have added like a more fun type of 2v2 mode, like in Mortal Kombat 9 or in Street Fighter X Tekken or in DOA 5 Last Round, which is the best example, they're just fun, you know, they're just really, really fun, right? And we know that they're never really usually taken as the main mode, so you don't really see them in tournaments like that. You don't see the 2v2 mode in tournament, but the fact that they're there for, you know, if you're just, you have some friends over and you guys just want to play Mortal Kombat, or you guys want to play Dead or Alive, you guys just want to play Street Fighter, y'all can hop into a 2v2 and it's fun and it's great and it's, you know, maybe unfair, maybe unbalanced, but who cares? Like, y'all are just having fun, throwing hands, you know, shooting the shit. And I love that. I think those modes are always just super fun. Just to have the option there, I think it's always a good time. It's always a plus, you know? So the fact that they have this assist cameo mode, but they don't have an actual 2v2 implementation is kind of fucking stupid. And it's a huge missed opportunity to just add tons of more fun to this game. You know what I mean? Which they already did in MK9 and it was great. Like, being able to go through arcade mode with your friend, with your homie next to you, like, that was so much fun on MK9, bro. And if I could do that on MK1, and, you know, not saying that it should be couch co-op only, you know, it would be fun to play with someone next to me and play through arcade or play online, but also being able to play online with someone else, you know, one of my friends online, and we can just tag team up. That would be great, you know, like just being able to play with the homies is always a good time. I've already made a video on this channel talking about how fighting games can be more fun And if you guys want to know more about what I think would make fighting games more fun, definitely check that video out. I go really in depth and it's a great video. But to summarize, I think it is always better when you have more options to play with your friends than against them all the time. And in most fighting games, especially in modern days, you're always forced to play against your friends, right? Like there is no mode where you get to play with them cooperatively in a fighting game, but they've done that in the past countless times, and they've always been really good ideas. They've always been fun things. It's just somewhere along the line they kind of stopped doing that. And I think they're missing out on a huge part of the casual market when they stop doing stuff like this. So they should absolutely implement a 2v2 mode to this game, because that's one way they could actually beat Street Fighter and Tekken. Because both of those modern games, I guess you would say, are the big three of modern fighting games, or well, fighting games in general, really. The big three is MK, Street Fighter, Tekken. But nowadays, people maybe don't lump Mortal Kombat in with those other two because of the way MK has been doing. But anyway, I think adding a 2v2 mode to this game would actually put them a step above Street Fighter and Tekken, because both of those games don't have a 2v2 mode or a tag team mode. And I think it would make for a lot of fun that this game could have with friends, and that would be really cool. I think that would just be really, really, really cool. So the next few things are more so quality of life changes that I think should kind of be in the game, but I think, you know, they do have these like announcer voices that you can buy, right? Like you can add, like you can buy the Ghostface announcer voice pack or whatever, right? I think it'd be really cool if they added a voice announcer of like the main guy, which I'm not really sure. Is the main guy that, you know, is the voice announcer when he's like, fatality? Like, is that Shao Kahn? Is that confirmed to be him? Or is it just Mortal Kombat voice announcer guy? I don't know. But I think it'd be really cool if they added the voice announcer from previous Mortal Kombats, because MK9's voice announcer is quite literally perfect, but MKX's voice announcer is also pretty damn close to perfect. After that, it gets a little shaky. MK11's okay, MK1 it's okay, but I think the MKX and MK9 announcer was just godly, so good. If we could have him and his voice recordings in this game, that'd be fire. That'd be perfect. I would love that. I also feel like they should do maybe something like that in regards to the music, because I feel like music for Mortal Kombat has just fallen off so hard. I mean, we've seen Tekken with its jukebox system for Tekken 7 and now Tekken 8 as well. And Street Fighter even had to copy Tekken with its jukebox system because of how successful it is. And, you know, Street Fighter 6 missing hard with its music. People complaining constantly about that. I feel like Mortal Kombat 1 would only benefit from adding a jukebox system and adding tracks from all the previous Mortal Kombats that maybe you can unlock in Invasions. I think that'd be kind of cool. And just give, you know, more things to do, more, you know, collectibles. Always a good time, but it's also always a good idea to give the players options to listen to, you know, different music, any kind of music that you can offer, right? And I think the customization of, you know, adding whatever song from whatever Mortal Kombat to whatever stage you want is awesome. That's amazing. That's the best way to handle music in a fighting game, period. So if they added that, that'd be really cool. Also, I should have mentioned, if they were to add a crypt, probably be able to unlock the music from the crypt, not Invasions, but yeah. Also, I feel like it's a little weird. Maybe this is just me, maybe just a personal preference, but I don't really like the way they changed Tanya and made her black. Now again, I'm not trying to sound, you know, like I'm black and I'm all for diversity and you know, having cool black characters, but that's just it. I feel like they didn't make a cool black character. They just changed an already cool character and made her black when she clearly wasn't black. See, I like Geras. I think Geras is kind of cool. And I think if Tanya's design in this game was a brand new character, I think she would be cool. But the fact that they changed Tanya to be this new black lady, it just doesn't feel right, you know? And it's like, again, I'm all for diversity and you know, having cool black characters. Like, I'm black. I want to see cool black characters represented for sure, but I just don't think this is the way to do it. You know, I feel like changing a race of an already existing character, it's not the way to do it, because it feels like you're forcing that diversity into someone's throat, and it's just not, that's just not the way, you know? So I think it would be cool, and I get it, right? I get Liu Kang's timeline, it's new, so it allows for things to change. I get that, but I don't think that anybody's gonna be happy about gender swaps or, you know, race changes for characters that, you know what I mean? Like nobody wants that. Like, yeah, the whole new timeline thing could allow that, sure, but nobody wants that. You know, it's not gonna make anybody happy, and you know what I mean? It's just not, I don't know. It just feels weird, I guess. So I think it'd be cool if there was a skin that was like classic Tanya or whatever, and it changed Tanya to be how she looked before, you know? Kind of like how there's a Raiden skin that's like Dark Raiden, and he kind of looks more like how he used to look. I mean, he looks straight out of MK11 in that Dark Raiden skin. But, you know, I think if there was a skin at least that made Tanya not black and like how she used to look, I think that'd be fine. You know, like, I think that would be cool at least. If they're gonna go ahead with this whole like drastically changing the appearance of the character to be a different race or a different gender, I think they should at least add an option for that character to have the classic look. You know what I mean? So that'd be cool. And also, speaking of Raiden, bro, you know how heartbreaking it was to play as Raiden, and then he doesn't have his gibberish when he does his little like flying move? Like, bro, I was in shambles, man. Like, they gotta add that. I feel like they need to add a classic Raiden costume that gives him his classic voice line and his classic like voice, you know? Like, hearing Raiden as a young boy, it doesn't hit the same, bro. Like, it doesn't hit the same. But that Dark Raiden, when he was in the story, bro, Dark Raiden was sounding kind of fire, sounding kind of gas, bro. I was like, this is the Raiden, this is my Raiden, you know what I'm saying? So I think they should add like, you know, something like that, at least for Raiden, bro. Like, it don't hit the same, man. It don't hit the same hearing Raiden, not my Raiden, bro. Like, but yeah, I think another thing they really need to add to this game is, how does this game not have presets or not have it to where you can just select the character and their costume and go into battle? Why is it that you have to have your character in shuffle of like favorite outfits? Like, that makes no fucking sense, like, at all. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it's cool, because I think it is cool to have a shuffle option, and I think other fighting games should have that option, because I think it's really cool. Because if you have a lot of outfits that you like, you know, sometimes you don't want to worry about having to pick which one, right? I think that's fucking cool, especially because a lot of fighting games don't give you enough time to pick your character, which is something that Mortal Kombat surprisingly does. But anyway, I think more fighting games should have that shuffle on option. But for whatever reason, Mortal Kombat 1, that's the only option you have for your character. If you want to change their default look and you buy their costumes, you unlock skins for them. You can't just, before selecting your character, load, you know, pick that one skin and then start the fight. No, you have to have your shuffle on of all the skins you like. Like, it makes no fucking sense at all. Like, what sense does that make? Like, it makes zero sense. And then if you want to change your skin, or if you want to, you know, add a skin to whatever, you have to go into the customization and then equip or unequip whatever skin you want to change. Like, that is so dumb. So if you're in a lobby with your buddy, and let's say you want to unequip a skin or re-equip a skin, you gotta exit out of the lobby, go into customization, and then handle that business, and then go back into the lobby. Like, it's so dumb, bro. Like, how has this game gone on this long without adding presets? It makes no sense at all. So yeah, I think they desperately need to change that. Like, I'm actually just impressed by how long this game has managed to go on without having presets for your character. It makes no sense, especially with all the skins in this game. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But yeah, I guess that's about everything that I personally would need to fix this game and make it perfect, actually. Make it the best Mortal Kombat game to date. But yeah, the only other thing I can even remotely think of would be like adding more stages. Like, I would love to see, you know, the pit, just for good old time's sake, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this game, I mentioned how it kind of felt like MK9, just, you know, upgraded, better graphics because of just how the game looks and feels and like the colors, right? It's kind of a shame that the story itself wasn't just like low-key a retelling of MK9 but better graphics. Cause like the tournament stage, you know what I mean? I think it's Shang Tsung's temple in MK9, but in MK1, the stage where they actually do the Mortal Kombat tournament, it doesn't really feel like a tournament-esque setting, I guess. And there's a lot of stages from MK9 that I really wish were brought back, is my main, I guess, point to all this. If they were to bring back a lot of stages from MK9 just to really give it that MK classic feel, that would be like just the icing and cherry on the top. They don't have to do that, but if they did that, oh man, that would be perfect. Like the pit, you know, I mean, a lot of the stages that they brought back from MK9 look amazing. Like the Death Forest, bro, they brought that stage back and all its glory. Like, god damn, you know? And some of the other stages they brought back look phenomenal, like genuinely gorgeous looking stages. So that just kind of makes me want more MK9 stages back in like better quality, you know, better enhanced graphics, remade, retold, because they did an amazing job with the ones that they did, you know? So, but they don't have to do that. That's just like my personal, you know, reaching out there for any possible last thing I would change with this game. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. I'm gonna try and end it here before I find something else that I want changed. But yeah, what do you guys think about my personal wish list of things I would like fixed with this game? Let me know in the comments below. Please leave a like on the video and subscribe while you're at it as well. That would help me out a ton. But yeah, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And hopefully I will catch y'all in the next one.